You'll be talking about those moments day and night. The next day you go to work or you go to school, and there are two kinds of players. The players that capture your imagination, and then the ones that just make you fall in love with the game of basketball. This is a story about a humble, hard-working young man who had a dream. And with perseverance and desire, he turned that dream into reality and became one of Europe's most exciting basketball players. This is a story about Hapoel Yerushalayim's basketball superstar, Emanuel Terry. Originally from the small town of Enterprise, Emanuel Terry would make a huge decision going into his 10th grade year and ask his family to move to Cleveland, Alabama, where he would become a high school basketball superstar. Now, Alabama is a beautiful state, and the people there are fabulous. And if you ask any native to the state of Alabama what they love more than anything in the world, the basketball superstar would play American football for his high school. And he was pretty good at it. I mean, after all, have you seen his athleticism? But remember we talked about that dream, perseverance, desire? Basketball was always going to be the pathway for young Emanuel Terry. Now, there was never a question, could the 6'9" basketball superstar play college basketball? The problem was, how could you get big college basketball coaches to come to the small town Alabama? So Emanuel Terry had to join the AAU program and play for the Alabama select team. And this is where the basketball journey begins. So it's the summer of 2013, and young high school superstar Emanuel Terry is playing in an AAU national game at the Disney Worldwide Sports Milkhouse. And just one play catches the attention of college coach Josh Schertz. Josh Schertz was the head coach at Lincoln Memorial University, an NCAA Division II institution based in the small town of Harrogate in Tennessee, not too far from Knoxville. Now, what Coach Josh Schertz and his coaching staff saw in Emanuel Terry was potential that could be made into a superstar. And they were right. The young Emanuel Terry would start as a reserve at Lincoln Memorial University, but it wouldn't be until his senior year that he would have an unbelievable breakout season. That season, Emanuel Terry would average 17 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks per game, and his field goal percentage was 71.1. He would go on to be the SAAC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, making the first team All-Conference. But that was just regional awards. At the national level, he was an NCAA Division II First Team All-American and an NCAA Division II National Player of the Year. To top of his incredible senior year, he was named the Bevo Francis Award winner. It's an accolade given to the best player outside of NCAA Division I in the nation. So it definitely looks like a professional career is on the way. But where is Emanuel Terry going to end up? After going undrafted in the 2018 NBA draft, Emanuel Terry was picked up by the Denver Nuggets for the NBA Summer League team. He would then be picked up by the Canton Charge in the NBA G League. He would play 20 games for the Canton Charge, averaging 8.1 points and 6.4 rebounds per game. But on January 5th, 2019, the Canton Charge then decided to trade Emanuel Terry for Malik Newman from the Sky Force. The trade proved to be very big for Emanuel Terry as he averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block per game for the Sky Force. So he's doing pretty well. First he conquers this, then he conquers this. Now it's maybe time for a shot at... And that's exactly what Emanuel Terry did. He made it to the NBA. He signed a 10-day contract with the Phoenix Suns, and on his debut game against the Los Angeles Lakers at the Staples Center, he got 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals in only 9 minutes. A few nights later, Terry followed up with 4 more points, 3 rebounds, in a loss against the San Antonio Spurs. The young man from Cleveland, Alabama, made it to the National Basketball Association. The humble, hard-working basketball superstar from Alabama made it to the NBA. Now, after playing a 10-day contract with the Phoenix Suns, he would also play 1 game with the Miami Heat. But Emanuel Terry then decided that a move to Europe was on the cards.
All the way, goes inside, and Emanuel Terry's timing is just phenomenal.
He signed with a team called Tekshik Bandemir in the north of Turkey. Now, when you play in Europe, you play in 2 leagues essentially. If you're playing for a very, very good team, which he is in this case, you play in your domestic league, which is the Turkish Basketball Super League, against other Turkish teams, and then you play against other teams in Europe, which in this case is the Basketball Champions League. See, most players, when they come from the G League or the NCAA and jump right into Europe, it takes a bit of time to make the transition. But how do you think a 6'9" basketball athletic superstar like Emanuel Terry does? Well,
Emanuel Terry ve Geoffrey Löwen hava atışındalar. İNG Basketbol Süper Ligi'nde zorlu mücadele Ülker Spor ve Etkinlik Salonu'nda Rıdvan Öncel, Emanuel Terry cevap verdi. Maçta değil ama alley-oop'u.
Oh, and by the way, there's a new offense structure. There's no longer the pick and roll. It's the fake and low. See, Terry comes up and sets the fake screen, quickly gets off on the runway, and then here comes the low.
Bıraktı Emanuel Terry. Ahmet'e rağmen orada basket faul.
Oh my lord, Emanuel Terry, are you serious?
Havaya bıraktı Emanuel Terry.
Emanuel Terry with no regard for your help side defense.
Emanuel Terry neredeyse hani kalçasına doğru gelen pası alıp içeri vuracaktı. Kendiyi kullandı. Kalinowski, Emanuel Terry bu sefer sınırcı vurdu Emanuel Terry. Kalinowski, Emanuel Terry ile iki oyunu harika bir alley-oop. Smaç geliyor Emanuel Terry'den.
Emanuel Terry with the throwdown.
Hava atışıyla mücadele başlıyor. 4 saniye. Kalinowski potaya gitti. Davon Terry asisti, Davon Terry'nin smaçı. Hamleleri olarak James Lazer. James'un pası Davon Terry, Davon Terry. Bir de faul var. Brent Dunstan karşısına aldı. İçeride Terry. Terry atış kaçtı. Top yeniden onda kalıyor. Bu sefer içine vuruyor. Emanuel Terry. Emanuel Terry. Emanuel Terry gidiyor. Smaçı vuruyor Emanuel Terry.
The Turkish basketball fans absolutely love Emanuel Terry. I mean, he's becoming an iconic basketball player. So now it's time for Emanuel Terry to go continental and to show everyone in Europe just exactly how great he is.
Terry connects with the alley-oop.
Time.
Now he goes off the dribble, and Terry with a big swat just throws it back in Simpson's face. Can they get the three? Just shot. Oh my goodness! Emanuel Terry is taking this game over. That's awesome. Wow, what a throwdown with one hand.
So instantly Emanuel Terry becomes a fan favorite in Turkey and becomes a superstar all over Europe in the Basketball Champions League. But towards the end of the season, he would change teams and just make a little journey south to Israel, playing in the holy city of Yerushalayim for Hapoel Bank Yehav Yerushalayim. And again, new domestic league, but same European league, of course.
That league. Terry, oh, watch out! Welcome to Jerusalem, Emanuel Terry.
I mean, it's just a phenomenal, inspiring story. The young kid from Alabama who goes on to be the best NCAA Division II player in the country, makes it to the NBA, and now he's slowly becoming one of the most exciting players in Europe. Now, on the way, he got a lot of doubt, he got a lot of criticism, but he had perseverance, he had desire to keep building his dream, and he got there. And you know what? There's some players that capture your imagination, but Emanuel Terry just makes you fall in love with the game of basketball.